Tell me, what was the focus of the family's involvement in the bushfires in Victoria?
Look, we really wanted to look at the aftermath of the initial event that took place and rebuild the emotional well-being of families within Australia that were affected.
So what sort of practical things were you able to do, and basically why are we reporting on it now, so many months after the event?
Okay, well, the immediate Australian reaction was phenomenal, with tens of millions of dollars raised to rebuild infrastructure. But when the media attention shifts off the event, that's when the real situation begins to bite for families. So we were able to produce 40,000 booklets, practical booklets, on parenting in the midst of crisis and coping with stress. And they provide a roadmap for people to rebuild their lives after this event.
So how were you able to distribute those booklets?
We made them available on our website to download free of charge. Our printers were able to get support from their suppliers and produce 40,000 copies free of charge that we then distributed through the chaplaincy groups that provided counselling in those areas. Insurance companies that were working with the families in those areas were also a distribution arm.
Okay, so now you're also involved in counselling. How can Focus on the Family assist with counselling? What are the ministry's credentials in that area, and what actually did you do?
Well, we have a qualified psychologist in our counselling area, but because of the magnitude of this event, we needed to mobilise the army of existing qualified counsellors that exist, and so we provided free post-stress disorder trauma counselling intensive training by bringing a clinical psychologist that specialised in the area of trauma and 2 other clinicians down from Brisbane to Melbourne to train 100 counsellors that volunteer their time in this area. So we provided that through sponsorship free of charge for those counsellors.
So is there still a mopping up work that has to be done to assist communities to cope with the whole crisis? Well,
when you consider that entire towns were wiped out, that's not only the homes but the schools, the police stations, all the infrastructure. So towns have been completely obliterated. Marysville, for example. So this is, and we're not only talking about the loss of property, but the inconsolable loss of life, families, neighbours, friends, and that's going to be a lifetime work for people to restore. You can rebuild a house, but you can't bring someone back that's been lost. So it's a lifetime work to get involved and continue to be involved in this area.
What is Focus of the Family's involvement in Australia? What actually is the ministry all about? How well established is it? And what is the focus of the focus?
Sure. Focus on the Family have been going now for 15 years in Australia, and we predominantly exist for the cause of Christ, for the sake of families, by producing well-researched, evidence-based programs and resources designed to do principally 2 things. Firstly, to build strength and resilience into marriages, and secondly, to equip and encourage parents in the area of the care, nurturing and protection of their kids. And so we do a lot of work in parenting, marriage enrichment, seminars in schools talking about life choices, consequences, that type of thing.